Hello, Supercoaches. The teams are in for round 23. It is the first week of the Classic head-to-head finals, so must win for a lot of Supercoaches. We've got the Supercoach Experience boys here, Savs and Tim. I'll start with you, Savs. How's your team shaping up?
Not very good. I've got carnage all around the park and my rank is going down and down very slightly. So if I can finish the year with a good rank, then I'll be happy, but there's not much to look up from here.
Still a pretty good rank for you though, right?
4,000th, not too bad, but I set high standards for myself.
And how many trades left?
One going into this week. Before the Herbie injury, I have Tino in my side. I have Dylan Lucas still in my side. I have Lehigh Hopewade, who is in my side as well. So carnage for the Xavier Turbos this week.
Tim Moodie, the former champion. How's your team travelling?
It's okay. I've got 3 trades left.
Yep.
I've got a couple injuries, though, 3 injuries. So just about, am I going to use those trades until I need them? That's my biggest sort of dilemma. As long as I'm fielding a strong 17, I don't know whether to make it stronger yet or not. Worried about future Timmy having no trades in the last couple of rounds. But yeah, ranked around 1900.
1900 with 3 trades. Very, very good. So I'm just hovering around 6,000, but with 5 trades in the bank. So I'm hoping for as much carnage as possible heading home. I want every single player to get rested. I want all the injuries to happen, which has happened this week, including Herbie Farnworth, which we'll get to. That's obviously the big thing of the week. Who to trade for Herbie Farnworth, given he's out for 4 to 6 weeks with that hamstring. Before we do, biggest takeaway from the teams, Savs.
Tom Trbojevic named at fullback. I'm so excited to see him at fullback. He's been really cooking for the last few weeks, and to see him back at fullback, he's going to take it with both hands. He loves playing Canberra too, so I'm so excited.
I'm so tempted to get him in. I could sell Teddy, I could sell Drinkwater for him, and I've got trades, so I'm really tempted. What's your big takeaway?
My takeaway is no Kinney yet.
Yes.
So Brimson still stays at fullback. He's 4th most popular purchase this week. I own him, so I'm really happy for him to stay at fullback for the Bunnies matchup this week.
So what is the story with Kinney? Because he was originally ruled out for the season, but there's some mail floating around that he might be back pretty soon.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be back this week. I'm not too sure any more information on that.
I honestly can't see him coming back, to be honest. Like it'll just... They're doing well at the moment. He's coming off a really long-term injury. I would say they put him on ice till next season. And if they bring him back, it means Foran for his swan song gets put to the bench. Like, I don't think they'll want to do that. So,
yeah, I tend to agree. Plus, they could just bring him back through Queensland Cup as well after such a serious injury.
I was worried they'd put Brimson to the centres just to strengthen the whole side. Yeah.
For me, it's the 2 front rowers. So Payne Haas is back, which is good. Terrell May, as we knew, is out through the bye. So that is a big blow for a lot of Supercoaches. Hopefully you've got some depth there, but the fact that Haas is back after that infection is good for him.
It's very good. I bought him in last week, and actually the week before, and yeah, very exciting to have him back.
Yeah, I don't have him yet, and I'm sort of thinking I should probably pull the trigger this week, just because head-to-head finals, he could be the guy that really hurts me if he comes back with a bang.
Yeah. I feel like he's had so long out that he could really just come back and kill it straight up. He probably needed a rest though. On to Herbie Farnworth. So that's the big move of the week. So many people own him. You look at the top 10% of Supercoaches, basically everyone owns him. So he is a sell if you have trades, of course. Who are you going to go to?
I'm going to Zach Lomax personally because I don't have Zach Lomax in my side, so I think his matchup is very good this week against the Cowboys.
You're using that last trade, aren't you?
Who knows? Who knows? But he's the one. He's the one who makes sense for me. I think he's got a big ceiling, so I'll definitely be going to him.
Yeah, I think Lomax is a great one if you don't have him. Already got him, so I think I will be going Dane Gagai, potentially. I don't know if I'm going to bring him in myself, but I think he's the best option. It's a bit of a tough draw. He's got Penrith this week, but you just got to look at Brimson scored a big one against the Panthers last week. Dane Gagai's got really good base stats. Looks like he's raking them up pretty easily. So I think he's a pretty safe 80 to a ton at the moment.
Yeah, like he's averaging almost 100 since he moved to fullback, plus he's kicking goals as well, which is huge. I know the Knights' attack is ridiculously bad, but for some reason there always seems to be someone stand out in that team at one particular point. Sometimes it's Ponga, sometimes, whoever it is.
Sharp.
They're all sharp. There's always good attacking SuperCoach scores in that team, even though their attack is junk. Don't get me to explain how that works, but for some reason it happens. So I'm going Gagai as well, noting that I already do own Lomax and Carraz. So I think they're probably the best replacements. In terms of a pod replacement, who would you go for?
Ronaldo Mulitalo. He was 400k 2 weeks ago. Back-to-back 90s. He sees him at 546k with a -10 break even. He has the Dragons this week, who their right side is very leaky. They leak so many tries to that side. Has the Titans next week and then a bye. I think he's a very good pod option. Timmy got him in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, kind of threw me. I didn't know you were going to say that.
Oh,
I was going to
really?
be mine, so I'm just sitting scrambling trying to think.
Maybe we could both go this. It's all right. You can go the same if great minds think alike in SuperCoach.
Yeah, he's still pretty cheap. He's still sub
550, yeah.
One counter argument to that, and I'm extremely biased on this one, and I'll be there on Saturday when they take on the Sharkies at Cogra Oval. It's at Cogra. Dragons fire up at Cogra. It's the local derby. It's going to be. It's a tougher matchup than it actually seems on paper, but I'm extremely biased, and I'm only saying that because I'm going there with the
They've
whole
got a
family.
great sort of 3-game stretch, I think. The Sharkies still, so even outside of that game, it looks like it's a bit of love for Ronnie there too.
Any love for? Well, you mentioned Brimson. There's that little issue there that he could have if Kinney comes back. Do we have any love for Brimson at all?
Well, I've sort of been reluctant to play him all year and didn't play him last week against the Panthers. He was my top scorer and I left him out, which hurt. But I think as long as he stays back there, they've got great attack in their side. He's been scoring pretty well. There's not a great amount of options. We already seem to have a lot of them at the moment. So, yeah, he could be a good thing. And for those who don't own Jaden Campbell as well, he could be another
if you've got
good thing via the right jewels. For me, that's the way I'm looking at it. So I got Brimton at 5.
I had the option of bringing him in a couple of weeks ago and went with someone else in a different position. So you'd need the right jewels. One thing I'll point out as well with the Sharkies, with Mulitalo, they've got the bye coming up. Is it
around 25?
And Timoko is really popular too, but they've got the bye next week. So a lot of the guys, there's issues with everyone really.
Yeah, I think Ronnie's the best one, but yeah, the buys are no good. The centre wing option, there's not really heaps that are popping out. So I think if you've got the big three in Lomax, Carraz, and I think Garrick's still a decent purchase. Yeah. They've got a good run coming up. If you don't have Garrick, I think he's a good one. But apart from that, I don't know if centre wing is the place to make up ground.
Yeah, otherwise use your jewels to get someone else in a different position. For people who don't know how to do that, and if you're watching now and you're in the finals, you probably do, but you use the S button, the substitute button within the trade, and then you can switch someone within the trade. Huge time in SuperCoach. Great time to be involved in SuperCoach because SuperCoach Finals is coming soon. I'm not talking about the head-to-head finals, which are starting this week. I'm talking about a brand new game, which is launching within the actual NRL final series. So look
Can
out
we talk
for
prizes?
That. I can't give. I've been sworn to secrecy on a lot of things. Every time I give away too much information all the time, and then my bosses hit me up saying like, you can't give away.
We don't want to
too
get
much.
in trouble off the boss.
We also have EPL. Have you signed up for EPL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, but I'm hoping to get into it through SuperCoach.
Yeah.
Which is what got me back into footy back in the day. So.
Yeah, not yet. Has it kicked off yet?
It's kicked off, yeah. It's already launched. So
yeah, right. I might
starting in what?
Might have to make one of those phantom sides that just win one round and annoy everyone else.
Yeah. It's starting in 10 days, I think. So
wow.
Get in. The numbers on that are absolutely huge.
Really?
And yeah, really
good. So round one's not done.
So no, it hasn't started.
Oh,
so the game has launched,
yep.
but there's still about 10 games.
Awesome.
10 days until the actual season launches.
Beauty.
Wow.
And we've got a massive announcement coming on Thursday. Just putting it out there without any detail whatsoever. We'll do the first game. Storm v the Broncos. At the Storm, Ryan Pappenhausen, he's there, but Bellamy has said that he's not going to kick goals anymore. So Nick Meaney's going to take over the goal kicking.
This is bad for both of them. Nick Meaney was a good purchase when he was at fullback kicking goals. Pappy was good at fullback kicking goals. Now Meaney's at centre kicking goals. Neither of them are good SuperCoach options now.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, he kicked terribly, and then Meany just came and bang straight over. So yeah,
The one from in front of the post that hit both posts was just
Flossie loved it.
yeah. On to Jerome Hughes, obviously a sell, but a lot of people are just getting around to doing that this week, given that it's head-to-head finals. At the Bronx, Payne Haas is back after that infection. Would you be going out of your way to buy Payne Haas this week? I own him. I'm pretty happy to play him. Would you buy him this week?
I think so. I think the front row stocks at the start of the year, they were very scary because there were so many for us to choose from. Now it's kind of dwindled out with all these injuries and stuff. But I think with that week off, just that rest he needed. So I'm very happy to be owning him this week.
Yeah, well, I've still got to deal with Kolamatangi injury, so I think it probably makes sense for me to just do it. I'm just reluctant to use it. With only having 3 trades, I'm thinking I might just cop 3 injuries to fullback over the next 3 rounds and need to use them all there and nothing at front row or something and may not need to make moves there. So just don't know whether to pull the trigger or not. That's my biggest.
The other guy there is obviously Karapani, who's out of the team again this week, so definite sell. On to the Knights v the Panthers. Bradman Best is back into that team. He's actually relatively popular this week. Any love for Bradman Best as a pod?
I do like him. He scores very well every time he's on the field, and it seems like he's their go-to guy when Ponga's not there. Especially, actually, Ponga goes to him a lot too, so...
I can see him going all right, but I still think I would prefer Gagai. I just feel like he can bank on those safer points just through the work rate he gets through.
Yeah, I much prefer Gagai as well. I think he's a really good purchase now. He's at fullback and kicking goals. At the Panthers, your Panthers, you kitted up today as well. Which
no reason, just defending the side.
Isaiah Yo, he's definitely out this week, but it doesn't look too serious. Should only be 1 week.
Yeah, he was a popular purchase last week. I had him all for the start of the year and he underwhelmed for me, so I've just sort of death riding him for the back end of this season Supercoach wise, so enjoyed that. I'm glad he's
a Panther.
Yeah, it's tough. Supercoach wise, but I'm glad to see he's okay because we need him.
Also at the Panthers, Cleary. Is he an absolute must-have if you don't own him? He's come back from this groin injury, origin, etc., and he's looking good. He's kicking goals. Him and Dylan Edwards have that great combination. I think you probably need to own both of them, to be honest. But would you break your team to bring them in?
Yeah. I think it's a tough draw, so you could probably go other pottier options that might have a better draw, but he's just so, consistent at getting the job done. He's going to lead that side, I believe, to, the run to the finals, and they want to play well, so I think he'll score well.
Back-to-back tons, and I think he's a must-have for sure. I think one big out that does hurt them this week, their trainer, out for 5 weeks.
Yeah, probably won't be able to get it done without him.
Great call, that one. Definitely. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, we'll save it for...
please. Sorry.
We'll save it for the tune into the SuperCoach experience.
Oh, wow, you saved the good stuff. Far out.
Yeah, bit of...
Oh, look, I think it was an accident. You don't think it was an accident?
I'm not sure.
It was an accident. He apologised. You could tell by his face, I think, even just when you see him look up, he sort of was running a line and then realised what happened and started running towards him. It's almost like when you see a car, if you're not looking, you're like, oh no, it's coming at me. He sort of...
Whether it's an accident...
He should have better awareness of what his job was. It was unprofessional, but the amount of hate that's coming out for the Panthers and for this poor bloke, he was embarrassed. He'll make mistakes at our job.
Whether it's an accident or not, I think Jaden Campbell had every chance to set back up again. And if that was Nathan Cleary or Nico Hines kicking for goal, the onus would have been back on them to make sure they kicked that goal. So I think more ownership and accountability had to go towards Jaden Campbell in that moment. But still,
it's embarrassing.
It was an awful moment from the trainer, whether it's intentional or not.
Well, just going to say that the Panthers trainers have history.
Yeah, I've been more worried about putting the water on the ball. That water on the ball a while ago, that's more worrisome than that for me. And just running across him, if he had run across as he was kicking it and he missed the ball as he was kicking it and they said, it stands, the kick stands, that's different. They've gone, reset, take your time. he had the ability to.
You're speaking of Penrith boys here, so we can't.
Yeah. I still think it was a bit dicey, to be honest. Raiders versus Eagles. So at the Raiders, they've got the same 17. Timoko is pretty popular. I think we agree. We don't go there. Like, he's been on fire recently. Tackle busting machine, which is good for SuperCoach. But he's also, like, he's scoring tries recently, but he's very rarely a try scoring machine. He's just gone on a bit of a run recently. Plus, he's got that bye coming up. So it's an avoid.
I also think Canberra are going to attack the other side this week. Ruben Garrett goes back to centre, so they'll be attacking the left side rather than the right side.
Right. And then, obviously, Horsburgh and Jed Stewart are popular sells as well, which I think makes sense. So, onto the Sea Eagles. You got Tom Trbojevic back at fullback. I'm so tempted to bring him in, but the fact that he's fullback only makes it really tough to do it.
They have the Tigers, the Dolphins at home, and they've got 2 really easy matchups, 4 really good matchups to end the year. So I think
it's about the trade you got. Like, if you could trade him an injured player for him in your side and make that work, it'd be great. But for me, I've got 3 healthy fullbacks and injuries in other positions. I can't really move any of these healthy players to another spot. They're locked in there. So
it's the same for me. Yeah, I'd have to sell a good player. I'd have to sell Tedesco, or I'd have to sell Drinkwater, who, although Teddy's in a rough trot, he could just go gangbusters from nowhere. Drinkwater, I'm a little bit worried about because Clifford's back, so he might not be doing the goal kicking. Either way, he can go gangbusters or he can bang out a 14 like he's done already this year.
How about your third fullback slot with Edwards up against the tough draw? So they've got Melbourne Dogs. They've got someone else tough for the back end of the year. Maybe not this week against the Knights, but for that Manly run late in the year, I think it might be a luxury trade that people with trades could really look at.
Edwards to Turbo. Interesting.
Or even Drinkwater in round 26 when he has his bye.
Feels like it does actually get upside, doesn't he, at the moment? Like, feels like more 70s, 80s capped maybe.
Onto the Dragons. So they got the same 17 after that great win over the weekend. It's funny, whenever it's absolutely hammering down rain, the Dragons can often go well. That's the only time they go well.
Cogra and Wynn Stadium are like the worst place to play in the rain as well.
Yeah.
Tigers have got that vibe too. Like, they upset the Panthers a couple of years ago in the wet, and then they did it to the Dogs this week too.
Yeah, so it just evens out everything. Just on that, I don't think you can read too much into what happened last week at all, because it was just such a strange round. Even the games that were in the dry, like the Panthers v Titans game, was just a ridiculous game that you can barely even read into as well. So don't base your decisions on what happened last week. Look at what's happened before that as well. So at the Sharkies, Ronaldo Mortala, I've got penciled in, but I think we've probably spoken about him. Onto the Finns v the Roosters. So obviously Herbie out for 4 to 6 weeks, it looks like at this stage. Jermaine Asako has been named. There is some conjecture over whether he'll kick goals. So Katoa could kick goals in that team this week, which would be a huge blow for Asako owners.
Yeah, that is a big blow for Asako owners. I think the matchup's pretty awkward this week anyway, so if you can sit, I'd sit him out this week.
I like Mark this week too, Mark Nwanga-Nituase. He's gone poorly the last few, but I reckon owners should be playing him this week. Yeah,
I've owned him for a while, and I've played him every single week that I've owned him, which has been about 5 or 6 weeks. Got a couple of tons, and then absolutely nothing since. Hopefully this is the week up at Suncorp Stadium. Onto the Doggies v the Warriors at the Dogs. Thoughts on Carraz? Because it was a strange game, given that it was absolutely hammering down. It was also a strange game for him in that he played fullback in defence, but then attacked at right centre. So they've got, obviously, Stephen Crichton defends at right centre, because there's no point even going to that side of the field if you've got Stephen Crichton defending in that slot. But then he would attack at fullback, and Carraz was playing right centre, which is probably, I would argue, his worst position for SuperCoach, in that it cuts down all his runs, but he was still getting lots of runs in kick returns as well.
Yeah, again too, it was in the rain, so it's like that. It's hard to sort of really gauge what upside or is potentially there too.
I think with Karaz at fullback, it wasn't that exciting because he's not really a ball player. I like him on the wing, finishing all those tries. It's a very awkward position, and with their draw coming up, I think he potentially could be a sit some weeks if you see upside in other positions. On the other side of the park, that Crichton has probably one of the best roles in SuperCoach as a centre wing at the moment. If his draw was any better, he'd be a serious pod option, goal kicking, playing at fullback and getting those 20, 30 tackles in defence. That is a great role.
Yep, I tend to agree. On to the Warriors. So they got CHT is back into that team. That's Chanel Harris-Tavita. James Fisher-Harris, the other three-letter acronym, is back on the extended bench, so he could play as well. Aaron Clark, every week, you look at the most popular trades, he's always there. I just have never found him quite sexy enough to get into my team. But then every week he just churns it out.
Yeah, it's tough to bring in because whenever you want to bring someone in, you want them to be that thing that's going to really make the difference in your side for that week. But I've had him for a long time and I don't even really look at what he scores each week. I just know it's pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm
just going to be solid.
it.
So, like, if you're selling Isaiah Yeo, who is that type of player, it would be a natural trade to go to someone like Aaron Clark, who, you just know what you're going to get.
He's got that dual flexibility if you've got.
And the dual
That's very handy this time of year. Yeah.
Aaron Clark's doing what Isaiah Yeo did last year. So I think the back end, if Aaron Clark's healthy with that draw, he could get some attacking stats and could really set the difference for you.
Titans v the Rabbitohs. So Philip Sammy is out. Jaden Campbell, really popular this week. Back-to-back tons, I believe. What are your thoughts on him? He's got
I'm pretty sure I'm going to do
dual
it.
positioning, but it's tough. Like, you can't really sell Farnworth for him without sacrificing either a fullback or a guy in your halves. It's a kind of a weird trade.
Yeah, I'm in a spot where I can do it and I feel like I need to. So I've got Brimson at 5'8", so I could sell Herbie, move Brimson down and then buy JC there. And I just feel like he could be the guy that could either ruin... This is a big matchup against the Bunnies this round. Like, he could really carve up. He did really well last week against the Panthers. I feel like there could be that 150-ish score in there. Head-to-head finals that could knock me out of some that I don't have a second crack at.
Well, if he gets a fair shot at kicking goals, then maybe you could go.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see. Hopefully the trainers from the other side this week show a bit more respect than those filthy Panthers.
I captained Jaden Campbell earlier in the year for an 8 points against Parramatta when they were doing quite poorly. And it seems like you can't pick his matchups, Jaden Campbell, this year. Oh. So I'm not getting my hopes up that this week's going to be a good performance, but I've got him in my side. So
in saying that too, also he's playing the Bunnies, and the Bunnies got absolutely hammered last week. And then the week prior, I was like, I'm playing Nico against him, and Nico went really poor against the Bunnies.
Yeah.
They got smashed the week before Nico had played them, so I'm just wondering if they have a second, every 2 weeks they kind of react to the week prior.
Yeah, I mean, so on to the Bunnies now. So they couldn't even field an 18th man over the weekend. They got so many injuries there. That means guys like Tallis Duncan is just, has to play huge minutes. And
Reggie the Rabbit off the bench or something.
Reggie the Rabbit off the bench. He's actually, Tallis Duncan's actually a better buy than I think people are giving him credit for. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he reached 700k at some point this year. Yeah. He's been really good. I think the time just hasn't been right, and because the Bunnies haven't been a threat, we haven't looked at him. But I think he's a genuine option. This week it's a pretty good matchup, and he's a try scorer too.
Yeah, well, speaking of threats at the Rabbitohs, they've got Latrell Mitchell on the extended bench. So, look, the thing with Latrell is it's hard to know whether he's going to fire up and what's going to happen. But he has no one around him in that Rabbitohs team. So if he does play, I feel like Latrell's going to take on a lot of responsibility. When Latrell has a responsibility, he tends to go well. We don't know if he's going to play, and they play so late in the round that it'll be a tough call to bring him in this week. But if he fires this week, could be a guy, a really good pod down the track.
Yeah, it feels risky, but if you're up for it, go for it. Because
if you're chasing
it could be the man.
Yeah. Even if you're behind in your head-to-head final this week, you could pull off like a Latrell trade late in the round to try and get you over the line.
Or if you've got nothing to play for, then just have fun with it.
Yeah. Who's got nothing to play
or a lot of super coaches out of head-to-head finals.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are you trying to point to someone?
No,
here,
no.
or-
I'm actually out of most of my finals. I think I've been
really?
1 out of 20.
Far out.
But your final rank matters. It all, whether it's,
Yeah.
you wanna do the best you can.
On to Eels v the Cowboys. So Lomax, the most popular player this week. It makes sense. I know he wasn't that good on the weekend. I don't think you can not own Lomax given how well the Eels have been going recently with Mitch Moses back in the team. Jason Riles seems to have triggered something in them recently. Plus they've got the Cowboys and it's at Combank Stadium.
Could be a cheeky captain for me this week.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got enough confidence to put the captain on him. If it doesn't go, fantastic. The worst is going to be like a floor of like that 45 we saw last week, I'd imagine. And sometimes you get those, you take a 50 captain. I did that 2 weeks ago with Nico Hines and it happens, but the upside is definitely there against the Cowboys. And if you're behind and you need to do something, it's the last game of the round. It could be, there's a couple of options there this week for tricky captains. I like it.
I think if I buy him this week, he's definitely on the options for captain for me. I like it this week.
Insurance of, your other captains like
Yeah.
VC on a Cleary or something.
Onto the Cows. So Clifford is back. So we're assuming that means Drinkwater won't kick goals.
He didn't kick goals last week. Zach
Yeah.
Labart kicked the goals. So, yeah, I think Drinky's days of goal kicking are very...
Wasn't he doing the left-right sort of thing? They'll kick
There
one
was a
of-
point there where,
Yeah, one was taking it from the left, one was taking it from right. I
But
reckon
then, but then Drinky took over and then just without Clifford in the side, it was just Drinky. But
I reckon it might get a
Labart,
left-right.
potentially.
And then finally, bye for the West Tigers. Terrell May, who is the top scorer in Supercoach for the entire season, is the 7th most sold player. I can get around it. If you've saved heaps of trades for a head-to-head final, get him out and then get him back in again next week. I can see why people are doing it. I don't have enough trades to make it work, but why not? Go him to Haas for a week or whoever it happens to be.
I can get behind it, especially if you're going to Haas or if you're going to a high upside second rower, then I'm all for it.
I just can't work out how you'd need to do it. Maybe it's just because I'm looking too much into my side. I've got Colin Matungi still sitting there that I can move on to him, but I just think there'd be other people you could trade to get Haas or someone else into your side. Just leave him there. He'll be back next week. It's a headache. It'd be too hard to bring him back.
I'm talking more guys who they've got 10 trades.
Yeah.
They play head to head. All they want
Yeah.
is to beat their mates and to get that $1,000 or whatever it is at the end of the year. Then if you're in that situation, then absolutely go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Big thanks to Tim. Big thanks to Savs
Thank you.
of the Supercoach experience. I hope your pod goes well later on this afternoon.
Oh, it's going to be fiery, isn't it?
I feel like it will be.
No, it won't be. Keep me on a leash.
We'll catch you tomorrow for the preview podcast. See you then.